And we are back on the Late Shift with Will Merrill. My guest this evening needs no introduction. So guess what she's gonna get, y'all? An introduction. That's right, y'all. She is a certified speech and language pathologist. She's also an author, and she has her own publishing company. We're gonna go about all of that stuff today. Man, we are learning on a Late Shift with literary leaders. Ooh, alliteration. Haha, bars. Without further ado, Mrs. Keylonda Wheeler. What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. Leave me hanging. Thank you so much for clocking in with your boy. So, you have your book series. Can you tell us about the book series itself and how it came to be?
Okay, so my book series is a children's book series called The Inclusive Crew. It is an homage to Louisiana culture where we have crews, but this particular crew is centered around accepting people the way they are, however we come. We all have differences. Some people have disabilities, and we just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's all about.
Awesome. So you have the crew, which is KREWE. So is that an acronym for something, or?
It wouldn't be right if it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying, man? You know it gotta mean something, man. You know, double entendres. You know what I'm saying? I Googled that.
So, you know, I love alliteration. I also love acronyms. And so the K in crew is for kindness, R is for respect, the first E is for equity, the W is for wisdom, and the second E is for embracement. And so it's the values that I wanted myself, as well as any parents or anyone who purchases the books, as well as the readers, to be able to go out in the world and represent that.
Nice. So how important is this line of reading for not only children living with disabilities, but those that may interact around them?
It's very important because it helps to give children and their parents the language to speak about it. We grew up in a time where it's like, as long as you ain't staring at people, you was good. Right. Now we know that we need to assume that everyone is capable of communicating their own needs. It just may be in a different way. It's also important because one of my books highlights speech therapy. Only 3% of speech pathologists are Black. And so it was important for me to have that representation for children that are younger. So if they want to grow up and be a speech therapist and represent, it's actually a specialty to just be Black folk and speak Black English.
So you bring up the speech pathology, and you are a certified speech and language pathologist. And coming from a person that actually went through speech therapy when I was younger, what made you get into that career?
So everybody growing up was like, you're smart, you should be a doctor. And I was like, doesn't really sound like what I want to do. I knew I wanted to be in the field of education, and speech pathology actually kind of combines the two. It's almost like, you know, you have the educational component because you can pick where you work, but we also learned the anatomy and physiology from the waist up, because anything that you use to breathe, swallow, you also use to speak.
I didn't know that.
So could you kind of explain and let me see if I'm getting these terms right, expressive versus receptive language? Okay. I'll be Googling, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So can you let people know the difference between the two?
So anything that you use to give a message to a listener is going to be your expressive language. Okay. And then receptive language is you actually being able to demonstrate that you understand the messages from other people. So we can express ourselves in many different ways. Most languages are just symbols that we use to represent something. And then with receptive language, usually, you know, little kids, people will say, oh, they understand exactly what I'm saying. They usually do, because receptive language is usually a stronger skill in anyone than expressive language would be.
Okay, so a person, like, let's say a child that has a strong receptive language, necessarily that's just part of life, versus, you know, the African American urge to say something to a child, be like, oh, that kid been here before. you know, we tell a baby to do something and they do it. Oh, that child been here before.
That's just average.
Okay. So let's talk about the books that you have. You
Okay.
know, how the, you know, each title and stuff like that, and kind of a Wikipedia version of. I want people to go out there and purchase the books. I want everybody to hit your website up at keylondawrites.com. I want everybody to make sure they come in and tap in. So we got to kind of give them kind of an overview.
But not too much.
Not too much. Because
You know,
once you
people
go out
lazy.
there, yeah, you know, they want. They,
I already know what the movie about.
Yeah.
I know what that book about.
All right, book about it. You know, make them go page 75, you know.
Well, one thing to keep in mind with both of the books is that this gives you an opportunity to give your children, whether they're your own or someone that you love, if you're an educator or whatever, these books have a little soul to them, right? It was very important to me to not only represent disabilities, but I'm a black woman, so anything that I do is going to be from my perspective.
Right.
So with my first book, I don't want to make too much of a glare. But Nia Sky's Friend on Wheels. In our family, we call everybody by their first and middle names for things.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really important to kind of just give that little bit of culture with it.
Sure.
And so basically, it's a beautiful story of friendship. Two black girls
Not
being
too
able
much
to
now, I'm telling you
represent each other in their own experiences. And like I mentioned before, just kind of giving you the background on how to start those conversations to be sure that you're a good friend to anyone, no matter what. And I will say the most unique review I've gotten of that book is they eat mustard greens. Yes, we do.
We do.
So we incorporate a little soul food in there.
Okay. The mustard greens and greens with green.
Yes. Now the second book, this is in the series, but each book is going to have its own personality.
Okay.
So Miss Kiki's Speech Room, I gave the character the name Miss Kiki because it references a student that I had, and that was the first thing he ever said to me. He did not speak the entire school year, and then one day he just said, "Bye-bye, Miss Kiki."
Yeah.
And so I definitely wanted to have that in there. It rhymes. Again, it's got soul and flavor to it,
Right.
but it represents through the illustrations and all the text that you don't have to be perfect to be amazing.
That's dope. That's dope.
So how many books are in the series?
There's two, but there is one in the works right now.
More on the way.
And this will be my first book that features a main character that is a young boy. So I'm really excited to have this book. Each of them kind of highlight different differences or disabilities. This particular book brings awareness to type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
So,
That's very important because a lot of black people just don't know until they have it.
Right. They, you know, they think type 1 and type 2 is like, you know, oh, well, type 1 definitely iPhone, iOS diabetes, and then type 2 is definitely Android.
Okay.
Type 2 diabetes come with emoticons. You know what I'm saying? So, but how important it is to have this unique perspective of inclusiveness, because a lot of times whenever we hear about diversity, equality, and inclusiveness, it's more about racial, it's more sexual preference, it's more about, you know, gender fluidity and stuff like that. But this, in this case, is about living with, you know, things that are outside of our control. So how important is that to include people that live with a disabling condition to be included in those discussions?
It's highly important. One thing that's most important is just to listen to people, because their experiences are valid and the things that they need to be supported with. Sometimes we're the ones that need to be able to act that out.
Sure.
So like you mentioned, when we think about diversity, equity, and inclusion, the group or population of disabled people are actually the largest marginalized group.
Yeah.
So if we consider, you know, marginalized communities or minorities, disability community is the largest of that. So it affects more people because some people are born with disabilities and others acquire them in their lifetime.
Sure.
And so we never know when we could be a part of this community of people. And I say community because they have embraced me me, you know, as an ally. My Instagram, man, the crew on Instagram is gold to me.
Shout out to the crew, man. Shout out.
Yes, they are golden to me, and so it's so important to just be able to help amplify their voices and the things that they experience, because if you really take into consideration, the disability itself does have an impact, but not having access to things like buildings not being accessible for wheelchair users, or you know, websites not being accessible for the blind or visually impaired, movie theaters, things like that, where we need to be considerate of what someone would need to be able to fully enjoy just regular entertainment. So it's really important to hear their experiences so that we can help to make change.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, I know that on behalf, and I'm not just speaking for, you know, the disability community, but I just know that, like, just having the inclusiveness and just the diversity of it and an aspect that not people really consider or think about is greatly appreciated. Yeah. Definitely. So what we're gonna do is, speaking of being included, we're gonna play a game.
Okay.
And the game is called Initial Answer, and we're gonna go through that right after this.
I got my own TV show, mama.
Man, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying?
And it's an honor and pleasure to be sitting right now with the world-renowned artist, Lil Chucky, man. What up, baby?
What's up?
Man, I appreciate it.
Y'all check out this video, you know what I'm saying, Old to Me, New to You. I got the remix with Cam that you ain't seen, but you need to know about.
Since Friday Night Flows, let's kick it off like this, baby.
And we are back on the late shift with our guest, Mrs. Keylonda Wheeler, certified speech language pathologist and also author as well. And we also got Cornette Granville, the best HR director in the history of the universe and also in the multiverse as well. We're gonna play a little game, and y'all know the game. It is called Initial Answer. That's right, folks. That means our guest this evening is gonna have to provide answers to these questions. And all her answers must start with the first letter of her first name. Ooh. So, Ms. Keylonda, all your answers start with letter K.
Okay.
And you'll be playing against Cornette, our reigning champ, and all her answers, of course, start with C. And we got exclusive answers, questions here, y'all. So, it's gonna be fun. You ready?
Ready.
You ready?
Eyes ready.
Round
one. Fight.
Question one.
Blue. I mean,
Can't go wrong with blue. What's your blood? Name a unit of measure.
Really?
Kilograms.
Kilograms, all right.
Centimeters.
Centimeters, all right. Kilograms, centimeters. Name a room or area in a home.
Kitchen.
You said area
Yes.
or room?
Or room. Room or area.
A cold drink room?
Shout out to everybody on the cold drink room.
All you non-drinkers out there, everything in there is cold and drinkable. Duh.
Hey, where you going? Hey, to the Dr. room.
Champagne room. Champagne room. Y'all, I get nervous. Don't do that.
Judges, are we accept the champagne room? No, okay. No.
First of all, on Housewives, she made a champagne room, okay? You seen that? So, a cellar.
Oh, okay. We're gonna.
Because I couldn't say wine cellar.
Yeah, we'll accept that. We'll accept the cellar. We
You're
probably would
messing up
accept
my winning streak.
We would have accepted the closet.
You know what I'm saying? I got nervous. Or what? What else?
I don't know.
The pantry. The carport.
Hey, is there in the house?
That's outside. Okay.
All right. Name a famous movie or TV actor or actress.
Kim Fields.
Kim Fields. All right. Shout out to the Facts of Life and also Living Single.
Next question. Okay, wait.
actress, movie or TV?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, shout out there, about Mary. And The Bad Teacher. That was a good movie, man. They hollered that.
Oh, girl was ridiculous.
She was, right? All right. Name a NBA player.
Oh. Okay.
Can they last name be like?
It has to
start with the first name.
Yes.
Has to, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo.
Carmelo. If you don't have a car. Carmelo if you drive a Carmero.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Whose name is
With a K?
Oh, Keisha.
Can I say like King James?
No judges.
That's going hard today.
No, she just said no.
Somebody out there time.
Come on, help me out.
I mean, okay. So
I can't even think of one.
I know at least two. I mean, yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe.
Damn.
There we go.
It's hard. See your
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, man. R.I.P. to the Mamba, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Okay.
Black Mamba. All right. We also accepted Kevin Durant. Also Kevin Garnett.
Dang. I'm
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
It
You get on the
is.
spotlight.
Yeah. You know.
Woo, man.
Right. So
I don't even know no other C's. Chris Paul. I could have made up a name. Y'all don't know.
Yeah, we would have been like, okay.
Mahomes.
Hey, he played on a bench, man. He played with Timberwolves.
Yeah,
he
he
on a
played in
bench.
1960s. Yeah.
All right, and finally, y'all, for all the marbles,
This
the
is
last
horrible.
initial answer question of the season. Name a hairstyle.
Ooh.
Ooh,
With a K?
with a K.
Cause
Crips.
you use Keylonda hair.
You got crimps with the crimp.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Thank you.
So she was like, yeah,
I
cool.
am not set tripping over here, cuz I ain't say nothing about no crips.
Wait a minute.
Crips.
I need one. Cause you use like Keylonda hair. Kiki twist. Boom.
Kiki twist. All right. That's what's up. We also would have accepted cornrows or knotless braids. You know what I'm saying? So hey.
Now let's start with. Oh, don't worry about it.
Tyler can't get
The
you.
Tyler can't get you,
Forget
man.
about
You know what I'm
it.
saying? That last question was sponsored by Hair Artifice, which is one of our sponsors here right now. You know what I'm saying? With the Hair Artifice, artificial, officially.
Okay.
Make sure y'all handle over there at Hair Artifice, 1713 Wooddale Boulevard, man. Thank you.
I say artifice.
Yeah, it's artifice.
Artificial. No.
No, it ain't artificial. It's real.
It's real, cuz.
You know, but the art
I don't
is
ain't got my
official.
hair done. Yeah.
Miss Cloud, let everybody know where they can,
Your
purchase your
handles.
books, your contact information, if you do, any appearances or
You ain't
anything
on
like that.
Amazon yet?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
what
let
I'm
them know,
talking
man. Let them know, man. They pull up on you.
Absolutely. So my books can be found on my website, KeylondaWrites.com. If you're a person who loves 2-day shipping, I can't compete.
Okay.
So it's also on Amazon.com, either of the books, as well as any online book retailers. And if you'd like to support independently owned bookstores, then they should be able to search it on their list as well.
right.
And always keep up with me on social media. All of my handles are at Keylonda Writes, and that's where I'll be dropping the cover for book number 3 next week.
Ooh.
Turn your notifications on, y'all.
Turn up page on. Make sure y'all holler at Keylonda Writes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we do it the right way every day.
It's smooth like butter.
Keylonda, thanks so much. I appreciate you so much for
Thank
coming
you for
in.
having me.
Yes, ma'am. And we'll be right back after this.